Arkansas, the only state in the country with no laws to establish minimum health and safety standards in rental properties. I started looking into Arkansas's renters' rights after a mother and two of her children were killed in a Fort Smith house fire in November 2019. In a Fox 24 special report, you'll hear how despite recommendations made almost a decade ago at this point to give renters more rights, lawmakers haven't been able to agree on any. Welcome to the natural state, home to beautiful lakes, the Ozarks, and where renters' rights are seemingly non-existent.
Like if I had a shed in my backyard and you were desperate enough, it's like, okay, yeah, I'll pay you $100 a month to live there. That's fine.
The Attorney General's office says the state doesn't set standards for renters in terms of the property itself, but that's Democratic State Senator Greg Letting's goal.
About a third of Arkansans, about 1 million people, live in rented homes, and they deserve some minimum set of standards. Smoke detectors, a certain amount of hot water, heat, that kind of thing. Arkansas just doesn't have one.
Since 2013, Letting has championed change, but the need for reform was recognized even before then. In 2011, the Arkansas General Assembly created a non-legislative commission to study landlord-tenant laws. Upon its completion in 2012, it made 15 recommendations. One was to create an implied warranty of habitability. It would require landlords comply with building and housing codes, maintain roofs, floors, and walls, supply hot water, and smoke detection devices.
Unfortunately, in the time since, the legislature has not been able to pass legislation to fix the issues that we have.
These are just some of the bills that have died in the Arkansas legislature since the study's release. Letting says all failed because they were opposed by the Arkansas Realtors Association.
Every session since 2013, they have fought vigorously every attempt to improve or pass meaningful reforms.
The ARA declined to respond to this claim on camera and instead sent this statement. The Arkansas Realtors Association has worked tirelessly for several sessions to find legislation that helps good tenants and does not hurt good landlords. We will continue to work to support policy that benefits all Arkansans. Letting acknowledges the ARA has worked with lawmakers, including on a bill he sponsored. State Representative Robin Lundstrom, a Republican, she says previous bills have been too nebulous to pass.
They threw everything at it, plus the kitchen sink, that made it so unworkable that it wouldn't work for the tenants, it wouldn't work for the landlords.
Lundstrom is a landlord with over a dozen properties in Northwest Arkansas. She opposes any changes to renters' laws as they stand now.
It's implied. It's implied.
But if it's implied, why
and then
not
who's
have
gonna,
the law?
But who's going to enforce it? If you have a law for everything that's stupid, you'd be here all day.
She says more control at the state level would mean more money out of the tenant's pocket.
You have to have a government agency come in and do that. You have to charge somebody to go and physically walk into the building and check it every time, so that's going to cost money.
Her solution, a market economy. She says this will drive out problem landlords.
We have 40,000 units in Northwest Arkansas, 40,000 rental properties, and we have at least another 2,000 to 3,000 coming on that are nice quality. Now, if you're a bad landlord, you need to be sweating right now because your tenants are out looking.
But Letting says the state needs to get involved.
Lawmakers are ultimately responsible for voting.
Many of whom are landlords too, like Lundstrom.
For those of you that want to disclose that you own rental property, please indicate. I've got Senator Wallace.
In 2019, these 15 senators went on the record disclosing they are landlords. While lawmakers don't see eye to eye on policy, both sides agree there are good landlords and nightmare tenants.
Landlords do a lot of things behind the scenes that you never see.
We're talking about a very small number of negligent landlords. Most landlords do right by their tenants.
Regardless, Letting says those who do take advantage need to be held accountable.
We have to do something to address that small sliver that prey on the vulnerable.
Until then, it's left up to municipalities or counties across Arkansas to create and enforce ordinances to protect landlords and renters. So I've spoken with the city of Fayetteville. There are minimum standards in the city's ordinances, like heating requirements, but codes don't speak to problems with mold or leaks. Fayetteville's plans examiner tells me he often tells renters who are unhappy with their rights within the city to contact their elected officials. For more on renters' rights in Arkansas, head to fox24news.tv for my web extra on a new group that has formed to be the voice of renters who feel taken advantage of and to challenge the ARA in upcoming legislative sessions.